Hello, everybody, and welcome to Film for Thought. And today's edition is the Oscars episode. Yay! Woo.
Ooh, is that a tiny heart?
Hopefully, I'm gonna add some music
Oh, it's a
here, like Oscars or some shit.
What? We should probably start with
Is that
like the
royalty
ones people
free?
don't care about, and then move up to like Best Picture for last.
Okay.
I mean, I can't speak on like best.
All right. So, first, let's do an introduction set.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Michael Lardizabal, and welcome for the Film for Thought. On this episode, we're gonna discuss our Oscar picks and just like in general thoughts about this year's and previous year's Oscars. With us we have Maya Lewis.
Yes, it's me. Can you hear me? Cool. That's
gonna
it.
just say
No,
anything?
not gonna say
That's it?
shit.
All right.
No.
All right. And we also have the lovely, the beautiful, the only Jiro Roma.
What up? I'm back. How are you guys? I hope you're resting.
Baby
well
blue eyes over here.
and listening. Enjoying the world of cinema with us. So what up?
And we also have Chris Greening here with us.
Hello. My qualifications include I watch 4.5 movies a week. That's my average, and I've seen everything on this ballot except for I Lost My Body, which is nominated for Best Animation. But I will watch that soon. It's on Netflix.
So now I have to list my qualifications since you did.
Now I have to list my qualifications.
We're all qualified.
We're
Just so
all-
you know.
We're all film
Sure.
students.
We're
all film
professionals.
students. We're paying to be qualified.
I'm
currently.
just baby blue eyes, so
Yeah.
Baby blue eyes
don't
over
need
there. All right, y'all. All right.
All right.
we're gonna get cozy.
Are we
Okay.
gonna do all of this like
No, we're not doing. We're not. We're not.
Documentary
We
We're not.
could
feature?
breeze through a few
Yeah,
of these.
we're not.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we should go through all of
Okay,
them.
I
Makeup and hairstyling is an
Michael, can
obvious
you
one.
just ask us questions?
I mean, I feel
Alright.
like
So
what is Judy? I haven't seen that.
I
You
feel
haven't
like
seen Judy?
we should
Re-
sort of
Renee-
talk
Renee
a little
killed
bit
that.
about just the movies in general,
Writing
like
down the
the
list.
recurring ones.
Well,
I know, Chris, you really like The Irishman.
I don't know if there's any category on here that I think it'll win.
I don't
And
think
nor do I want it to win, but I did enjoy the movie.
What did you like about
We had
it?
a conversation with it, about that movie a couple weeks ago, and you said
Yeah.
that movie was like a masterpiece.
I think
Use
I
that
was,
word,
I,
and
I was throwing
like,
around the word, but I don't know when I watch that movie and I compare it to like Martin Scorsese's past films, it's just such a shock, like to see him like change his mind about something so late in his career, and I think that deserves an applause
Yeah,
in itself.
but
like,
not this year
round of
though.
applause, everybody.
It doesn't deserve an applause this year because this year's, even though
Movies are pretty good this year.
yeah,
not
movies
gonna
are really fucking
mhm,
good this
better
year.
than
like,
last
lie.
year.
Yeah, better than last year. There was like nothing.
Last year was
Oscars,
whack as
dude,
fuck.
freaking
Green Room?
Bohemian Rhapsody
Wait, yeah.
Awful.
pissed me off.
Okay, I like the songs. Did not like the movie. Yeah.
It's
Rocket
like-
Man did a much better job of capturing.
Rocket
someone's
Man did.
life.
Yeah, I didn't even like that one too much. Really.
Really?
I don't know. It was okay.
I thought it was much more gutsy and hey, there he is, and included like way more of his like darker sides and more of his mistakes.
I did like
in
that we
Bohemian
looked
Rhapsody,
In
at
it's too
Bohemian
glossy.
Rhapsody, they just pick like
Yeah,
They
it's not
him
even
as the-
accurate.
yeah, him as a bad guy, and everybody else in Queen, they don't depict
Yeah,
him.
they didn't
like
even
that
split
bad.
up ever.
They
And, like,
actually just didn't even. They didn't delve into his character. I
yeah,
appreciate
and then the way they
that.
formed the band, in the movie is not even close to accurate.
Yeah, and they skipped a lot of stuff, and I was really wanted to see like
Yeah.
a progression. I don't know. I mean,
Honestly, this year I can't be mad at all compared to last year. Vice was
No.
nominated last year.
I think this year the only thing would be mad about it's if like
I don't know. I feel like
it's
if
it's
they,
the same reason like Roma can't get a Best Movie of the Year.
Roma should have won last year,
Yeah, they can't get a Best Picture,
which is
But they-
correcting a wrong with Parasite.
but they get Best Foreign Film. It's
Yeah.
like we're like being international. Like you're set up for failure. Like you can't accomplish having the Best Picture if
Because
you're
all I
like,
want to say is that we have the best movies, and that's not true.
which is
Exactly.
not true.
It's like I feel like it should be like an equal size like pool of like people, and like I want Parasite to win for that reason, but
I want to say holding up against. We're talking about Best Picture. I'm assuming.
we're
clearly.
just talking about like the most popular movies
Well, I
in
don't know.
general. The Oscars.
Parasite
right now.
is definitely going to win something.
It's
It
probably
might-
gonna win Best
it
Foreign.
might-
Honestly,
you know,
that's
it
probably
will.
what's gonna happen.
Honestly, no,
it's
I
not gonna
agree.
be qualified for Best Picture.
I agree with what Chris said. I feel like it might actually like win. I mean, it's 99% on here. I
I
mean,
feel like it really doesn't matter what anything wins this year.
They're all good.
Besides, like,
The only thing-
if something atrocious wins Best Picture,
Okay, I don't
Like,
want
if Joker
Joker.
Ford
wins-
v
if Joker-
Ferrari.
if Ford v Ferrari, but
wins Best Picture.
If Joker wins Best
If
Picture,
Joker wins Best Picture, because that's just too
I'd be
easy.
so
Don't
mad.
do that.
I'd be
yeah.
so mad. I was pretty mad last year when Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because like while it is dope as hell,
I
it's
like
just,
Black Panther, but also I like the same PS2 games that it looks
Yeah.
exactly the same
Mhm.
because the CGI was so fucking shit.
CGI was really bad. But if you take away the cultural aspects of that film, it's still Marvel's formula.
No,
Like,
yeah,
you
that's-
shouldn't award Best Picture to a formula like that. And it's honestly Coogler, Ryan Coogler doing like all the things that make it a little bit better, but it's still the formula at heart.
I agree with
It's
that.
like-
I really.
It's the same reason. Like before, like I prefer like Thor Ragnarok or
Mhm.
Guardians of the Galaxy because like what is his name? The director
Taika
Taika.
Taika
Waititi.
Waititi.
Can we
Taika
also?
He's
Waititi.
just chilling.
Like
He understands there's a formula and
he,
just-
Jojo
like,
Rabbit
he has,
should win.
He,
I'm saying.
like he has
Jojo
that
Rabbit
same
should
Jojo
win.
formula in
Rabbit
the movie,
should win.
but he does something different. He
Jojo Rabbit or
imbues its own
1917.
aesthetic the same way James Gunn does it in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly.
But I don't think that should be nominated for Best Picture just
No,
because
it's-
we like it.
It's
Okay.
not an
What the fuck?
aesthetic. It's the way it's written. It's
I
like
want to talk about Jojo Rabbit because I really want that to win Best Picture.
Me too.
actually. I really like.
I don't want it to win, but damn, did I enjoy that movie?
Damn,
it's such
I
a fun
enjoyed
movie.
that
It made me
movie.
feel good too.
You were there at the Britannia. I saw you.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
film fest, I saw you. That was a really good movie. I really enjoyed
was
that
really
movie. It was really cute, and it was I don't know
And it's about like acceptance and being
Yeah.
tolerant. And it's really cool.
intolerance, and especially like with it was told really well too. Like
And the
them using
kids.
kids, that was really
It was so cute.
that was so cute. Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah, I mean
Props
that
to Taika Waititi. Like honestly, like
he's
having
had the script since 2012.
It's a gutsy move too.
yeah.
no,
I
it's
mean,
it's
he's
like
one of the
not
best
that like
directors.
just like putting like your name on top of it and just making a movie like this scale and it being so risky, and on top of that like having child actors being like protagonists, like fuck, like
And Disney distributed it. That's
Mm.
crazy. That
Yeah.
doesn't
it's
make
literally
any sense.
like he's like I need 4
He just
miracles to happen.
No, he
they
shot
all
on
fucking
everybody
happen.
with that. Like he shot on. It's
Yeah.
such a flex, honestly. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm surprised that film existed. It really. And then
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson, to be honest, killed that. I
She killed
loved-
it.
Yeah, that was a
Scarlett,
good mom.
this is Scarlett Johansson's year. Like
yeah,
she's,
No.
getting-
is she nominated twice?
she's
Yeah.
nominated
Yeah.
twice.
She's in.
She's
Oscar.
nominated
Deserved.
twice.
Yeah,
Deserved.
like she's
She's
done
made
such a
5
good job
movies.
this year.
Both movies, great job.
Yeah. Wait.
Which honestly, let's talk about Marriage Story for a second. Can we? do
Yeah,
that?
we can talk about Marriage Story is
All
really
right.
good. It really pissed me off how everyone on Twitter was saying, like, kept referencing to that scene, being like, my parents could do better. I feel like since you're like, it reminded you of your parents, I feel like that is indicative of the good acting. Also,
Like, I know a lot of people talk about the depressing part of the films, like, but like it's kind of funny. The whole movie is pretty comical.
it's pretty comical. It's a good movie, and like it really highlights. Like I don't know much about divorce and like the whole process, like the legal process about it. I really feel like I mean it's. I really like felt for like yeah like you are in danger of losing your kid.
I got really mad when I realized that Marriage Story didn't get nominated for film editing
Mm.
because of particular reasons. Like if you watch that movie,
Mhm.
it's always an outsider's perspective looking in.
Yeah,
Because
That is true,
when you're
isn't it?
talking about somebody's marriage or intrapersonal relationships, it's always outside looking in.
Right.
And that's the way that they express it through the editing and just like cinematography in general. But more than anything, it's the pacing of the movie and how they address it. For example, they only use close-up shots in very, very specific scenes to imbue some sort of emotion for longing. When they're closing the gate with their son, they both have that same sense of longing. That's one of the close-up shots that they have. The other one is when Adam Driver calls for Scarlett Johansson, or the other way around. Scarlett Johansson calls for Adam Driver, and he turns around and they use a close-up shot because they wanting them to stay. Like they kind of want to stay together, but at the same time they just can't. And it's that realness that they imbue and like in pacing, and it's like very methodical. Like they really thought about how they did it. And I'm kind of ranting here, but
Yeah. Well,
but
one thing
it's-
about that movie, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
if anybody else other than Joaquin Phoenix were to win Best Actor, I would
Adam
say Adam
Driver.
Driver, because that moment in the scene where he's like crouched like at her at his on his knees and like just hugging her. That scene blew my mind. Like he just kind of like loses it, and
I
it
really
also talks about
believed
what you're
him.
talking about. They kept it wide for that shot too.
Yes,
They
because
kept it
it's
wide,
like,
and it was intimate.
and it's like,
Is he nominated?
Yeah,
He is.
and I want to talk about one scene in particular in that movie. It's when Scarlett Johansson goes and sees the lawyer for the first time. That's a one-shot scene that's panning,
Yes.
panning towards. That's what the lawyer's seeing. Like, you're getting an authentic experience of what do you get when you want to get divorced, and
You're watching
just you
this.
want your kid, you want to
Mhm.
live somewhere else, you're unhappy with your life in general, and you want something to change, and you like, of course, you as the viewer, you don't know these things, you're looking at them through the same view of the lawyer, and you can see like it pans, and she's like, Scarlett Johansson has an amazing performance.
Yep.
She's just
Laura Dern
nervous,
too. Laura
and
Dern
she's
killed
like
it.
moving around and stuff like that. It's a very subtle hints, but it just leads to like a great performance, and just the like the sway of the camera, of like her not being able to like stop moving and stuff like that, going to the bathroom.
Mhm.
It's just very subtle things that just add up to making like an amazing performance.
What do you? So Laura Dern is going to win the Oscar this year. What do you think of that? Like, because I thought she did a really good job, but
Laura Dern is the supporting lawyer?
is her lawyer.
Yeah. She does. She's always
Supporting actress.
Which I'll be honest, there's not much competition this year for supporting
no.
actresses.
It's Scarlett Johansson, Laura Dern, Florence Pugh, Margot Robbie.
Did you
Kathy
guys see
Bates.
Bombshell?
I did not see.
I hadn't seen
Bombshell.
Bombshell, but I really wanted to. But then it just got reviews, and people were telling me I kind of enjoyed it, and I was like, I'm skipping it.
I don't
So
know.
Margot Robbie got
I wish I'd seen
Yeah,
Richard
nominated.
Jewell. That seemed interesting.
I think you told me to watch Richard Jewell.
No, I didn't see
Richard
it.
Jewell also kind of seemed
Somebody
like we're
told me to
trying
see
to
it.
win an Oscar here. Like,
But Richard Jewell's not winning anything.
I don't think it will. They were pining for it a little too hard.
Yeah, and it's Clint Eastwood. I love Clint Eastwood, but I don't know, his later films are kind of letting me down.
I don't know.
I've never been a Clint Eastwood fan,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, me either. Really.
But
American Sniper.
it's just like
That movie's
it's
great.
like for the same reason I just don't like Christopher Nolan. It's not my cup of tea.
Whoa, hold up.
Wait,
I know we're talking
sorry,
about the
can
Oscars,
we
but you don't
roll
like
it
Christopher
back
Nolan?
real quick?
I can appreciate his craft, but also I just don't
There's
appreciate.
got to be one film you like
What?
Memento. You don't like
What?
Memento?
I'm sorry.
Memento's great.
Who
but-
are you? Who am I talking to right now?
And I like some of his movies, like
Mhm.
from an objective standpoint, but I just don't like him as a creator.
Okay,
I
could
mean-
because there are very
His
good
art's not
reasons
my cup
to
of
not
tea.
like
It doesn't mean
He
it's not
makes a
good.
lot of
because
the
all of his
same-
films are pretty much
And
the same.
also,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
makes
I
a lot
don't
of the
like
same
that
type of
all the
movie.
women in his movies are kind of one-dimensional.
all of his characters are
Facts.
one dimensional.
Pretty
They
much.
suck
I
ass.
mean, I think the last movie I really liked by him was.
But specifically, like, women are portrayed
Yeah.
very well.
There aren't, but
They're just
yeah.
more like
They're
puppets.
just there.
They're just more like puppets to like pursue like
Mhm.
for just further the plot, and they're just there. And I just don't like how
That is very true,
he
especially in
uses
The Prestige.
Yeah, he just uses female tropes,
Mhm.
and they're just like women are just there, and I don't like that he doesn't create more depth to characters, but it's fine. Like
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, the man is talented. We can just say that.
no,
talented.
yeah, of course he is.
But
He just doesn't know how to create good characters.
I agree with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Except for the Dark Knight trilogy, I feel like he had a lot of interesting characters. That was the only time I felt like he ever did. 'Cause,
But
like,
also, you have to like give a hand to like
I mean,
the
I appreciate
actors
it.
Yeah,
that just
true.
really like made something of themselves.
Yeah,
along the way.
I would say that. I would
because
appreciate.
Inception feels pretty puppety.
Yeah, I
so does
appreciated
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
Yeah,
But
Dunkirk
I-
is meant to be that way though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I
appreciated it.
think you can definitely tell with like some actors that are like, for example, like Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the type of actress that's like if she doesn't have good direction, she's a bad actress.
She won't do well.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
I
Game
can
of
understand
Thrones,
that.
she has good direction, therefore she's a good actress.
Yeah.
And then she does something like X-Men Phoenix, Dark
Awful.
Phoenix, and then it's like
Awful. But
one,
no.
one of
Okay,
the worst performances I've
I
seen
want
in
to
a
say that
multi-million
is
dollar
not
movie.
entirely her fault. That the movie actually was ass.
Yeah, but she also starred in the other X-Men movies and
The
other.
director had no experience.
The director had
His
no
direct-
experience. No, all of
yeah.
the X-Men movies except for First Class and maybe Apocalypse, pretty bad. Or
But
like
at the
what
same
is it,
time-
Future Time?
Days of Future Past.
Days
I
of
love that
Future
movie.
I like
But
that.
it's
I like that one
it's in
too.
other movies that she's starred in. She doesn't
Yeah.
do as well when she doesn't have good direction.
I mean, yeah,
That's just like one example I can think of.
I'm sure that's true. No.
And then you have like actors like James McAvoy that sometimes he starts a movie that aren't that good, like M Night
but he
Shyamalan
does
Split.
well.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a fucking amazing
Yeah, he
actor, so
killed
he
that.
can play 23 personalities in one
Exactly.
person.
Yeah, I think it's just like I don't know.
What do you guys think about the whole Greta Gerwig thing? Not getting nominated for Best Director.
I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan.
I didn't really enjoy Little Women, to be honest. Just because compared to Lady
Damn.
Bird.
Didn't know you were sexist, Chris.
Damn, this is an enemy to.
Just compared to Lady Bird's so down to earth and
I'm
real.
gonna say I like Frances Ha better than both of those movies.
I
did
can agree
not
with
see
that.
Frances
Ha.
Not more than Lady Bird, but because I love Lady Bird.
A lot of people
But Frances
love Lady
Ha
Bird.
is great,
You need
and
to
that's
talk to
her
Carmen.
husband. That's her husband's film. But yeah, I don't know. Little Women just felt too artificial, not as real as
Yeah, I
Lady
was
Bird.
excited for it at 1st I
Mhm.
like the book. Like I have it at home. I don't know.
Lady
I mean,
Bird
Lady Bird is
is all
better.
about the mother and daughter relationship, and it just feels so real.
It
I
re-
just-
that argument, like those
Yeah.
arguments, and like the switch from like arguing to just a conversation.
That's where I don't think the
It's
problem
like,
is that she's not nominated for Best Director this year. I think the problem is that there's not enough like other
Women?
options. Yeah, there's not
Yeah,
enough women.
I agree with
for,
that.
like,
Yeah,
we're
I
given
feel like I don't like
opportunities.
the idea that sometimes it just feels like that people are just there
Yeah.
to like check a box.
They
Like,
shouldn't
no, we're
rest
being
on her
diverse.
shoulders. It shouldn't she shouldn't be responsible for
Yeah,
like,
no,
most
it really
white
It's
things.
like what's the like? Give me a second. I'm trying to look for the director. Martin McDonagh. He directed 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Mm,
That movie was great, and he didn't get nominated for Best Director.
that's unfortunate.
Because
Speaking
like when you talk about
Bradley
direction,
Cooper for Star is Born too. He got
What?
snubbed too as well.
For
yeah,
what?
Oh, freaking Ben Affleck. Argo won Best Picture in 2012. Ben Affleck didn't get nominated for Best Director. Yeah, there's
I
a
don't-
history of snubs. for
Ben
Best
Affleck
Director.
directed Argo.
Yeah,
I did not know that. Ben Affleck as in Batman.
he's a
right?
better director than he is an actor.
Yeah, okay.
Ben-
I
Ben Aff-
believe it.
yeah, they
Heard a lot of
wanted to
good
give him
things.
like they wanted just to be like a one man show that they were like, I'll make a Batman movie and do everything yourself.
And
And
I'm
they were
so
like-
glad they got Matt Reeves for that too.
Yeah, and then he was like, imagine the fucking stress of that guy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
starring in his movie, directing, producing, and writing it. Like, what the is he
Of
gonna?
course, he's gonna drop it.
Is he gonna fucking smoke crack? Like, how is he gonna even
Just
manage?
do it all, man. Have you any of you guys seen The Lighthouse?
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
That should have been nominated.
It's
for,
up for
But
cinematography.
like
I
for
don't know.
for direction and like keeping on the topic of like direction.
How dare you switch the topic?
Well, we
were
were
talking
talking about
about-
direction before.
Yeah, you were still on that. You're right.
It looks amazing.
If Quentin Tarantino wins, I'll be pretty.
I don't think he needs
I
to
don't
win
think
it this
Quentin
time.
Tarantino. I feel like
I want Bong Joon Ho
Yeah.
to win.
He should. He should win. I'm not mad if
I want Sam Mendes to
Sam
win.
Mendes should win. I'm surprised that's not up for editing.
No,
but
I really
guess
want
it's not
Sa-
that.
it's not in editing.
It would be
No,
okay if
it's not.
Sam
If
Mendes
Todd
didn't
Phillips
win
wins.
if 1917 won.
You know, I wouldn't be mad at Top Phillips.
I don't know. I enjoyed 1917.
I want Sam
as-
Mendes to win because he deserves it.
He does deserve it. He's had a long career of great films, especially Skyfall. Ever since
Yeah,
I've seen
like
True.
Skyfall, I was like,
specifically like 1917. It's one of the few movies I've seen in recent history, and I'm not
I
not
love
a
that
big
they
like war
built-
guy.
I love
Yeah,
that.
me
Me
neither.
either.
If we're
But-
gonna talk about this now, we're gonna talk
I
about
love
this
that they
now.
built like 1,500 miles of trenches. Or I feel like that number's slightly
They
wrong.
built like they built like I think it's like 15 to 30 miles of
That's what it is, not 1,500.
like no, just set like the whole
Yeah.
set.
Yeah,
is
no, I
one
know. I
straight
saw it.
line.
I loved it. I loved it.
Like-
I loved it that they didn't do any CGI as far as like the battle scene. Like I remember watching the battle scene, being like, are they CGI?
Mhm.
What's up with that? Yeah, no, that movie was really good.
that
and
river
also,
shot though. When they jump in the
river
river,
shot
Yes,
that
no,
thing.
that was
oh my
cool.
god!
I did not expect to really enjoy the movie because I don't like war
Mhm.
movies. Really, I don't really care.
When he goes into the house.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's just
ugh.
fucking scary. Like
It
when
is
he
really
was
scary.
at
That-
night with the
when the
that
thing blows
lighting.
up,
Yeah.
as soon as that first explosion goes off, that entire movie became a horror film. I
No,
was
it
like,
did.
oh
It
my
was
God.
scary as hell.
Yeah.
Like just you're in like fucking Nazi territory. Like that's
The
fucking.
entire crowd just
Nazi
flinched.
It's not
2001.
It's not 2001. It's
I love the symbolism with the
1917.
trees too.
It's 1917.
I said it's World War One. They're not Nazis.
Oh yeah, you're right. They're Germans. Sorry.
I think what goes with Sam Mendes though, having just great direction on that, is because he's connected to the project.
Yeah, it
his,
was his
Oh
great
yeah, because
grandfather.
his great grandfather told him
that
the story.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that shit, man.
But also like that was a labor of love. Like just like building the set, like everything was so intertwined.
yeah,
Like just having the like outlook to see that like
Yeah,
far ahead,
exactly.
like just like shoot thing continuously and
yeah,
go in that
love
like
that one
straight
shot
line.
situation.
I would have
really
loved
did.
to be on that set, honestly.
Yeah, I love the
It took
opening
so
scene
much
where
forethought.
it's like flowers and then they just
Mhm.
gradually like come out. Oh man,
And the movie felt quick too for 2 hours.
It did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it did.
I had no problem watching it at all, and it was really good.
And the tree symbolism was really good. How there was like torn down trees the whole movie, and then there's that one standing tree at the end. It was
Mm-hmm.
really nice.
Yeah, I really that was a good movie.
Like, and you kind of don't even like realize that when you're like watching it until like the tree just kind of makes you feel like safe and
Yeah.
calm, and then you
And
really
it's like
think about it.
I really like the fact that they never went into that character's like just life in general.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That
they
you
never
don't-
said
This
you
is all
don't-
we
anything.
see, but
you-
we care. We still care.
Yeah, I
we
care.
care because we learned to establish ourselves with this character through his own actions.
Yeah.
It's not like we care because like he is a father, like he has something to lose. No, it's because he put himself in this situation, and even though he didn't want to, he kept going.
Yeah.
And it also gives us that little tidbit that's like he doesn't want to go home because he doesn't want to leave again, and it's kind of giving us that, I don't know, air of, they say it more than once in the movie. He like gets in a fight
Yeah.
about it more than once.
Yeah, when the fucking like cave exploded, I thought he died. I'm not
No,
gonna
yeah.
lie. I was like,
He
oh
almost
shit.
That was
he's
one of the
dead.
scariest part of the movie, and when that fucking
It's
rat.
so loud.
Jeez.
Yeah, it dropped. I was like, oh no.
I was like, oh shit,
I was
man.
like,
Did you
end
guys
of
see
the
it at the
fucking movie.
Britannia?
No, I saw it.
I
at,
saw Britannia.
I saw it at. I
It
don't
did
know
as
where
well. I saw it.
it.
Britannia.
They do a really good job of like drowning out all the sound right before they like set off an explosion.
You got to do it at some point. Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should talk. We should talk about it. I missed. Okay, I like Inglourious Basterds. One of my favorite movies of all time.
It's really great.
But
I felt bad. Okay, first of all, I wasn't exactly sure what the movie was going to be. Well, I thought the movie was going to be about one thing. I sat in the theater and I was like, okay, clearly it's not going to be what I thought it was going to be about. And then, I really like the like bullshit dialogue and like the conversation. Like, I like that in his movies. Like, I just like the way people
This
talk
movie
about.
especially though, he like really gives the characters time to breathe.
Yeah, there's
really
not
nice.
much talking.
You don't get too many films that let them breathe.
Yeah,
that just
there's-
exist.
It just was, you know, and then like it was very interesting that like it was just different. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Tarantino movie, but it
yeah, that's what I've
definitely
been hearing a lot. That's like,
Yeah.
but
it's
it was
like
still
it was
good.
a good movie, but it's not my favorite.
I also
Tarantino
appreciate the
movie.
maturity of that. I think
Yeah.
same thing with Irishman. There's maturity in changing your own like
Yeah.
style.
No need to really make the same movie over and over and
Yeah.
over again, you know. And also, okay, I will say that like I got the Tarantino that I lived for in like the very few like last minutes of the
Yeah.
I was like, ah, hell yeah.
Brought the
Like-
LSD and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Period pieces are really hard to do, especially these days when like, you know, because traditional period pieces are like Lincoln or like some stupid like 3 hour long movie about George Washington. Like I feel like people are starting to do period pieces that are like,
Yeah. At this point though, Quentin Tarantino's done
The
like
same.
4 or 5 period pieces.
Yeah.
but
I mean-
he's
All
doing
been,
old
like,
ones
unique.
too. Like he's doing
Yeah.
like the Hateful Eight is like, or like Django Unchained,
But
or
something that you said, like,
Inglourious
I feel like
Bastards. I
Quentin-
think it's interesting that he's tackling the 70s.
Every movie
and,
he
like,
does is always so interesting. Like
Mhm.
I
so
like it, and I do like Once
the
Upon
color
a Time.
palette.
Yeah, it was good.
Brad Pitt though.
Brad Pitt though.
Brad Pitt. No, Brad Pitt still
Pitt.
got it.
Yo, you
Yeah.
ever get divorced and then just get like really just like back into life?
Yeah.
You're just like, yo, I'm gonna go back.
I'm gonna go shoot
go-
this thing. I
We'll
thought
go.
DiCaprio was really good in it. He's funny. He's just so funny no matter what he does. I don't know.
Look how
He's just
mad that
somehow
Christian
cute
Bale
and
got really
50.
pissed because he wasn't nominated for supporting actor.
For what, Ford vs Ferrari?
Yeah,
He was really good in that
He
movie.
was good in that movie.
he was good, but he wasn't like
I just okay.
he should be nominated for Best Academy Award.
I can say
Good.
I did not enjoy that movie. I just
No, I enjoyed the
I
movie.
mean-
It was a fun movie. It was definitely made.
was fun to
It
look
was
at.
made very well.
it was made very well. I don't know.
But
I just
also the poster is better than the movie.
I
that's
can't
what I'm
see him
saying.
replacing
That
anybody on
poster
this
is
list,
better
though.
than the movie.
The trailer for 1917.
'Cause we got
is
Brad
better
Pitt, we
than
got
the
Al
movie.
Pacino, we got Joe Pesci, we got Anthony Hopkins, we
kidding.
got Tom Hanks. Can you see Christian Bale replacing any of them? for
No,
their
I can't.
performances?
No.
I
No.
cannot.
He's got a lot of competition in that category.
He really does. Yeah, no, definitely. Anthony, I love Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Really
Talking
killed
about
that.
Anthony Hopkins.
Mm.
Did everybody here see Two Popes?
I did. Saw it in theaters.
That movie was. You saw it in theaters?
Yeah,
How did you see it? in
Netflix.
theaters?
I was in Texas for a weekend, and
They're just
they were
showing.
just
It was just a
showing in
special,
Austin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two Popes is a very impressive movie for the simple fact that that movie was the entire set of the cathedrals they use in El Vaticano are just made, and they were made in 7 weeks.
Mhm. And the
They
visual
use a lot of
effects.
green screen, but a lot of them were practical effects,
Yeah.
which is just like
You gotta
something to be
appreciate.
sincerely applauded.
I appreciate practical
It's also
effects.
not often you see that approach, that documentary, like zoom in, zoom out kind of
Mhm.
approach to filmmaking. And
Yeah.
It makes it seem way more natural and like more
I
of a
like
conversation.
I really
Did you
like
see
the
it?
editing of that movie
I didn't see
Yeah.
it either.
because
But it looked
they
nice.
they do this thing where they move from
haven't
the
seen this
aspect
one.
ratio from like 16 to 9 or the
I've been bad
2 and
this
1
year.
I think it's
Mm.
called,
Did
like
better.
they use for screens, and then
I'll
they
try.
move that out, and then when they're recalling moments in their past, like El Papa the Pope Francis, they move to 4:3,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's a good way to like to express the passing of time and like the gaps of time, and when they're like going into depth, or like when they're showing these scenes, they're really quiet also. Like they don't have a lot of volume to them, and I feel like, I don't know, just the visual is so like impacting because they move it completely, and it just has such a lack of sound that just makes it more impacting.
Speaking of 4:3, let's talk about The Lighthouse.
Movie shop.
Willem Dafoe is a god.
He really is,
Um,
isn't he?
Honestly,
He's
Robert
William
Pattinson, too,
Dafoe's
though.
career is
Wi-
so
William.
interesting.
he stars in so
Willem?
many things.
Willem.
Willem.
Willem? You said
Willem?
William.
Willem.
It's Willem.
No, it's Willem.
It's Willem
His name is
Dafoe.
William, but it's Willem.
It's Willem Dafoe.
It's Willem
Willem
Dafoe.
My life is
Did
a mess.
anyone see Togo?
Not yet, but I've
No.
heard it's really good.
You must watch Togo.
I must.
I
Okay,
cried
okay.
like
but
3 times.
fuck Disney Plus at the same time.
Okay,
Just gotta
Disney
say
Plus
that.
is
Okay, Disney
fantastic.
Plus is pretty ass, bro.
Yeah.
Disney Plus is
fantastic.
it's very ass.
Season 7 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I
Clone
don't
Wars
care
are
what
good.
anyone
Mandalorian's
says.
the only good thing out of it.
I'm
The
so
Clone Wars are
excited.
pretty good too. I mean, even though it's existed for Clone Wars are actually really good. I forgot how like much I actually fuck with.
I
the
never
Clone
really
Wars.
saw Clone Wars.
My
It's
birthday
good.
is
I didn't
good.
either.
It was never really a
I
thing
liked
for me.
it. I like
I'm
it.
very thankful for Mandalorian because Baby Yoda makes my day.
My
This
mom
Baby
bought
Nut
100
is
Baby Yoda
competition
stickers.
I'm not a big fan of Baby Nut.
I'm not a fan of Baby Nut just because it sounds fucking weird.
It
Sounds
doesn't-
like another word for pre-cum, and
It's
I don't
highly
like it.
inappropriate.
Don't like it. I don't know.
All right, Chris, I want to hear your thoughts. I know you like compose music and you make yourself. Like, what do you think
Yeah.
about like the audio aspect of the like Academy Awards, like original score and like original songs and like
Yeah,
sound
original
editing?
score.
Ooh.
Is 1917 nominated?
1917 had pretty good score.
They had a great score.
Yeah,
But
a
I
great
kind
I
of wish Star
felt-
Wars wasn't nominated. I just don't want to see Rise of the Skywalker.
I don't want to
anywhere.
see that anywhere.
Nobody wants to
Um,
see it
No.
anywhere near the
underwhelmed.
Oscars.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good movie.
I'll be
by-
honest, Marriage Story, I'm very happy about that score because just Randy Newman's a god.
Don't really remember the score actually.
Really, as soon as I heard, I was like, Randy Newman? Randy Newman?
Oh,
Monsters Inc?
Wow.
I felt underwhelmed by the 1917 score just because I felt like they didn't use music to the greatest extent that they could to like extract emotion and empathy. Like I felt like the last 20 minutes maybe was good enough, but like
Mm.
I feel like that's the point of that film, though. That
movie,
film's like an epic rise.
Yeah.
Like in
But I just wanted more. Like I wanted there
Personally,
to be like
when I-
scary music when they enter the cave.
Ah,
when I
no,
talk
I didn't- I
about
don't
like
want
or
that.
when I talk about original score, normally the movies that I appreciate the most are very different from like other people appreciate it, because I like
I like
you know
Birdman.
who Hayao Miyazaki is.
Yeah, oh yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
all of his films.
So the sound editing he uses he's like a very famous like a creator of animated content in Japan, and
The
his
best.
the
Almost.
yeah, literally like the best. Nobody can suppress
The
Hayao
king.
The
Miyazaki.
king,
And
man.
he works directly with a guy I can't
Joe
remember his name.
Hisaishi.
The guy
Hisaishi.
that makes all his scores, right?
Yep, Joe Hisaishi.
And he the thing is, he doesn't overwhelm the audience with the music.
Nope.
He has a lot of motifs in his music.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
he just creates.
What is it? Princess and the
Mononoke.
yeah.
Princess
um,
Mononoke.
Yes. That has like the best. I like that. That has the best score to me. I like that one. I like the score in Howl's Moving Castle.
It's like
I like all the
normally
scores,
I like
actually.
when a film can be comfortable enough with itself to be in silence.
think
For
I'm
you
rooting
just to
for-
hear the world moving. You like Hayao Miyazaki's films are directed in ones. Like instead of like most frames that are in two that look more liquid like Disney or just like other like anime style. So because he has less frames, he uses music to his advantage, like a sound creation, like just creating a world, and that's why you hear so much ambient noise because it just tricks the mind into seeing more than isn't actually there. And I feel like that's so important, and that's why normally I choose like for sound editing.
What's nominated for sound editing?
Sound editing. Okay, Ford versus Ferrari,
Ferrari's probably gonna
Joker,
take that.
1917, Once Upon a Time. Ford versus Ferrari is gonna win simply because of like I think they went out to record a lot of cars. I think I read that somewhere.
Rocket Man will win original song.
It probably will. I
What are
mean,
the
There's
other
no
ones?
competition.
I did not
I
watch.
don't recognize any of
Breakthrough.
these songs.
I didn't watch Harriet. Who the fuck watched Harriet, bro?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wait.
yeah, it's probably gonna be Rocket Man unless it's Toy Story 4, but I doubt it's
Okay,
Rocket Man.
okay.
Most likely.
I think that shit's unfair.
Harriet.
No,
Okay.
the original score because you can't. Okay, imagine this dream scenario. Okay, you want to study music because you want to make original scores for movies. That's
True.
your passion.
Yes.
You go to a good school, go to USC or whatever, then you study this. And then you imbue yourself into this world, and then you finally make a song for a movie that's nominated for an Oscar, and then you have to compete with Elton fucking John.
dude.
What that is the unfairest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be
Of
happy I made
course,
it into the list.
of course, Elton John's gonna fucking win.
It's Elton John.
Of course, he's gonna win.
So to bring it back to original score, I'll be honest. I don't see Marriage Story winning, but I'm kind of rooting for Marriage Story just because I like Randy Newman.
I think
What
they
else
had
is
a very
nominated?
subtle score of that. I guess
Yeah.
like I didn't pay attention to, but I guess that's a good thing.
I think it
actually.
adds a like whimsical,
There was like a
childlike
there was
vibe
some
to
whimsical.
I
there
swear to
was
God,
some
if Star
whimsical
Wars,
music
if
in
Rise
there.
of the Skywalker wins
That
one.
movie, I don't need it to win anything. I will be pissed if it wins anything other than maybe visual effects, which I still think Endgame actually probably takes the. Well, no, Endgame does not take the cake on that. Actually, Star Wars might.
Yo,
I really wanted
animated
to see.
feature, though.
I really wanted to see.
Kit Bull, bro. Fucking Kit Bull.
I'm just disappointed I couldn't see Pain and
Hair
Glory.
Love is probably gonna win though. They're just.
I didn't get to see Pan and Glory either.
Yeah, they've
I had a
told like
chance
I've
to.
been told that Antonio Banderas did like one of the best like acting jobs
Yeah.
in his career in that movie.
What sucks
really
is
wanna see it.
it's not gonna win.
I Lost My Body. That was a really
Yeah.
good one. I really like that. That's not gonna win though.
Netflix killed it this year.
Netflix did kill. Did you
Did
see?
they
I
get
Lost
the
My
most
Body?
noms out of any production house?
Yeah, it did.
Probably, yeah. Honestly, they make so much shit. Like, how can you not? Okay,
Check.
I'm kind of upset though, because for best animated feature, it's a bunch of kid movies, and then all of a sudden, I Lost My Body.
Shall we talk about Joker?
Yeah, I don't know. When I first saw it, I was really.
Klaus is a cute movie though.
Klaus
seen
It
is.
is
it.
really cute.
It
I
is
watched it
cute.
with my little brother over Christmas break.
It was cute, but I don't know. It's I Lost My Body is like very much a different. It's like an adult.
It reminds me of like, did you guys ever see that show by the BoJack Horseman creators, Undone?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Highly recommend that. It's on Amazon Prime. But yeah, these more creative animations that are breaking the mold. That
Yeah.
don't really follow. It's kind of cool. It'd be cool to see that win.
It's like
But it probably won't.
Undone is about time travel, right?
Chris,
Sort of.
have you seen Anomalisa?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Great.
Yeah.
That movie blew my mind a little bit too much because like I had to like pause it. This is the only time I paused a movie. I like stood up and like because I'm freaking out when I realized I don't want to spoil it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
What's the name of the movie,
Yeah.
please?
Anomalisa.
Anomalisa.
If you look at the cast list, you'll know.
Like, I just felt bad because back home we don't have movies, so I had to pirate that movie, and that was one of the movies that I watched, and I was like, I just really wanted to, pay back to the creators, because it was just impressive. It's like exactly what I wanted to do, like something like that.
That's Charlie Kaufman. He goes to great lengths to get one thing across. It's really cool.
Is I Lost My Body sort of in that nature?
I really loved.
I didn't watch it, so I have no frame of reference.
I
but
really
from what you're
loved.
saying.
I Lost My Body because the hand was. I was so much more interested in the hand than the kid. And the kid actually sucked, and I really liked his hand better, and I liked that his hand was like a different character from him. I thought that was good.
As long as Toy Story 4 doesn't win, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean it looked nice. It might win best. Is it up for
Toy
best
Story
VFX?
4 is the thing that this world did not need. We were good with Toy Story 1.
No, we needed it.
Three.
Well, we didn't need it.
It's still a good movie.
Happy
No,
that
it's a good
there.
movie,
Yeah.
but it's like Toy Story 3 though.
That was a great ending. That
That
could
was
have been it.
That's
Yeah.
like the full circle.
Full circle.
You know, a lot of times people milk things a little too much.
Toy Story 4
A
is
little
just
too much?
Woody. The fact that it's just Woody though, that kind of bothers me.
Yeah, it was just.
I
Woody.
wanted more of everybody.
Yeah, it was just Woody and kind of.
Is Woody being like a neurotic freak?
Is there no Buzz?
There
There's
was Buzz,
barely any Buzz.
but barely any Buzz. It was mostly Woody and
Oh, I
fucking scary
remember
ventriloquist
they didn't
dummies.
give. Do you know what I'm talking about? They didn't. Somebody know
That's
like the
ass.
thing.
Forky got annoying as well.
No,
Forky got
the
very
thing,
annoying.
The thing that happened,
Bo Peep.
that Buzz didn't get that many lines is because, do you guys know who voices?
did he
Tim
die or
Allen.
something?
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, yeah. Do
Mhm.
you guys know what happened?
What happened?
What happened with
Oh
Tim Allen?
no, I don't want to break you guys'. Okay, so
What do you do?
Tim Allen, has this thing where he gets really drunk and goes on stage and stand-up shows,
Mhm.
and he did this really bad-ish. He did this really bad thing where he went on stage when he was drunk in the Laugh Factory and sorta, kinda, maybe said the N-word.
Oh, Tim.
Shoot. dude.
And
Santa Claus.
yeah,
Fuck.
when I heard that, I was like,
Damn it,
no,
Tim.
not Buzz Lightyear.
There are so many things you can do as a stand-up comedian on stage. That is like not.
Yeah, no, Louis C.K. ended that shit a while ago. Like,
Because like there's
By
supposed to be
ended, I
like
mean
an
they-
amount of freedom like people that do stand-up are supposed to have because they're trying things. They're trying to make you laugh. That's the intention.
Yeah.
But like that,
don't come out here and say nigger, bro.
Ooh.
Don't do that shit. It's
that is
not it.
unfortunate.
That's going too fast. Like, you know.
No,
Hero,
no.
nobody can hear you.
Yeah, you're not at the
You're
mic.
literally not at the mic.
But he's still in the movie, so like why did they cut his lines?
You
If-
can't cut Buzz Lightyear out.
Yeah, you can't.
I
They-
mean,
I'm
you
pretty-
can if he says
from,
nigger.
from what I understood, he was already on contract.
Mm.
But the thing is, like, you can't have that much association, so they like further the plot towards Woody.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what
mean-
is Tom Hanks gonna do? He's a sweetheart.
Who's the guy that worked for Pixar that apparently like harassed
John
a bunch of-
Lasseter.
Yeah, that dude still still gets producer credits.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a contract thing?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. Not surprised. It's
They
like
got
one of the
props.
original.
I kind of want Missing Link to win because Leica is just such a great production company.
Yeah,
'cause
they
did
are.
Kubo. They
Okay, but I
did
feel like that
Coraline.
movie
They deserve
wasn't.
something.
That movie wasn't the
Kubo,
best.
wasn't the
Kubo was
Kubo was great.
stop animation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one stop motion. as
Did
well.
Leica
Stop
Leica
motion.
also did a Coraline, I think.
Yeah, Coraline's
Coraline's
Yeah,
amazing.
Coraline's
It is.
great. I don't know.
Scarred me as a child, but damn, is it good.
I didn't like Missing Link as much. I felt it was like a little weak, but
Okay,
It's-
can we talk about Joker though?
we can talk. Yeah, let's talk about Joker for
Let's
real.
talk about Joker.
Um,
I feel like Todd
Honestly,
Phillips should
not
be
seen
applauded
Joker.
for his work. I want
Really?
Sam Mendes to
Yeah,
win
and I'm
because
upset about it.
I want Sam Mendes to win Best Director because it's one of the movies in recent history that doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like you're being immersed to
A
like a
journey.
synchronized dance.
Yes.
You know, like it just everything just flows so naturally that you're just in this.
I wish Todd wasn't
hypothetical world.
nominated.
But however, Todd Phillips managed to make a movie in the most unlikely of situations and unlikely
Unlikely.
times of history.
I would
that it's
actually
like,
disagree
What?
because
This is the perfect time.
that's
for
the
him to make
perfect
that
time.
movie.
No, in the sense like the way that superhero movies are like that nature of movies, this like of like comic book characters have evolved to a sort of formula.
Mm-hmm.
He literally broke that formula.
Yeah, but
completely.
Logan did.
And if-
Deadpool did.
Yeah, I
Dark
mean,
Knight
Logan's the best
did.
one.
Well, what did they win? They didn't win anything.
I'm sure
they
that
were nominated.
they were nominated. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, Joker. Like looking back on it, I didn't actually no. When the movie ended, I didn't even really particularly think like I
It's
enjoyed
just
it
so
that much.
derivative. I can't.
It was
award it
kind
anything.
of yeah, and it was kind of like you're pining for an Oscar once again. Like I saw it and I was like, this looks like something that would be nominated. At the
Todd Phillips'
Oscars.
direction was similar to Quentin Tarantino's direction, where he like kind of takes from a bunch of movies, but Todd Phillips only picked like 3 movies.
The
and
Taxi Driver?
actually just like pulled scenes out of them and pulled storylines and pulled plots, and he copied the King of Comedy. That whole movie.
Taxi Driver, dude, that too. Like,
yeah. So like, there's a point when you take inspiration from a film and like maybe you copy a little bit, like who's the cinematographer for Birdman? For
Shit.
The Revenant, like he copies a bunch of European cinematographers, and that's fine. Like he takes inspiration, and it's a whole new thing when he does that. But Joker is not a whole new thing, and like you watch these scenes, and it's exactly copied
yeah. I
scene
don't
for
know.
scene.
Once again, the trailer was better than. I hate when the trailer is better than the movie, dude. And
Suicide Squad.
Like I
Suicide
like
Squad.
Joker, but like
it didn't feel
13
like Joker.
nominations.
It
My
didn't
God.
feel like Joker. It didn't feel like. I'm gonna be real. It didn't feel like the Joker, and it's not in a. It wasn't done in
I
a
have
good
a different
way.
perspective from it because
Is it just about the character?
Yeah.
No, it's
Well,
not
for
just
me-
about the character. It's because I grew up reading a lot of comics as a kid. I've always read a lot of comics, and I feel like when you have like 70 to 40-year-old characters that writers have just gone through and through and just found every nitpicky hole to just like put the character in and just tropes, it's very refreshing to see somebody take a different perspective. It's like a movie by graphic novel by I can't remember his name.
I can agree with that, but I never want to see him in another movie. Like I never want to see.
It's only a new perspective on Joker, though.
Yeah, I don't want to
It's
see
not
that
a new
Joker
perspective on
It's
a
like
film.
anything.
Like if you take the name Joker out of this and we just watch this movie for what it is,
Then it
it's
is
not Joker. It's
not.
just the King of Comedy.
That's what I'm saying. It's
It's
like it
just
doesn't
Taxi
feel.
Driver.
It's like it's not. It doesn't sell Joker in a new way at all. It's just like this. It's just a movie about a man who is just like mentally
Also,
ill.
the whole thing with Zazie Beetz' character that kind of pissed me off.
That
Like,
pissed me
I
off,
lost it. I was
bro.
like, I like predictable for one thing, and then for another thing, like it brings into the question like how much of the movie didn't happen. And I hate
which
stuff
is
like
a good
that.
chunk of it.
Yeah,
because
I
she
hate
was
that
in,
kind of
like,
stuff. Like the idea that a lot of people have theories on Inception being a whole dream. I don't like that theory. I like the theory that
Is it like, oh,
comes
I
back
wasted my
around.
time watching a dream?
Well, if you look at the cast list, his kids end up being they casted 2 different pairs for his kids. So at the end, they're older, so it is the real world because they've aged.
Mm.
That's his totem, by the way, not the top. It's the kids. That's why he doesn't see their faces. But when he sees their faces, he's in the real world. Back to this.
Damn.
I don't know. Joker is just so derivative. The only thing that I like is Joaquin Phoenix, but even Joaquin Phoenix is just doing the same work that he did in The Master. We've seen him do better work before. I
yeah,
mean,
he did better work. I definitely agree with you that he did
Mhm.
better work the year before that. But I
Man,
definitely
being an
think
actor is hard.
But honestly, I just want to see his speech. Did you see his BAFTA speech?
I liked his
Mm-mm.
BAFTA speech.
Really, he refused to accept the award
I know.
because there was not enough diversity, which is really cool.
I like that.
That was really cool. So whatever he does at the Oscars,
I mean, no, as a
he is
person,
Puerto Rican.
he's great as
Yeah.
a person. I
Born in
agree
San
with
Juan.
honestly, Joker had a great score. They made a lot of those scenes, like the dancing scenes, like
I
this could have
like
been
the
awkward as
dancing
hell, but they were
scenes.
intense and full of
Yeah.
art, and it felt cool.
I like that.
But what's actually happening in those scenes?
Yeah.
I feel like it's very experimental the way that he just brought it
I
up.
can applaud the effort. I can applaud. It looks like something that the Oscars would eat up.
And
I
I
can
feel like,
applaud it. It's
you know
just
what? Like
not-
I feel like
I'll probably never see it again.
when it comes to a movie that's like sort of a low budget ball movie like the Joker was, like in terms of like the industry and the scope that it's
Mhm.
being made of, it made something very well. Like we've seen movies with a lot more budget do a lot less, and I feel like Todd Phillips should be applauded by it instead of like
I like the movie. I just
Like,
I, can't,
it-
I don't see
I
best
underst-
picture.
definitely
I
understand
left
your perspective.
dissatisfied. Did you?
Yeah.
I left the theater dissatisfied. Did
I
you?
left the theater confused because I felt like I was watching a different movie.
You felt refreshed, right?
No,
No.
I felt like it was exactly what I expected.
Okay. How did you feel? Did you watch it?
Hero.
Hero.
No, I did not see it.
You didn't see Joker.
I didn't see it, and I feel like I want to watch it now that I've heard some bad reviews.
And they even know. They
'Cause,
feel
I
guilty
like it's
about it
probably
too.
really good.
What'd you
It's
say?
probably
They
way
tried to
better
get Martin
than all we
Scorsese
did.
attached to the project to direct because they knew it was.
I do have an
derivative of his work.
unconventional like opinion that I believe Marriage Story is better than the Joker though.
Oh, very
No, it is.
phenomenal.
A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
these movies on
Way
the best
better.
picture. No,
Oh, okay.
Way
Yeah,
better.
because most they've had conversations with people and then they just
actually, I feel like even Parasite is better than Joker. Jojo Rabbit is better
even
than Joker.
Man,
Okay,
Parasite
I'm
is
sorry,
the
not
best
even.
Movie on this
I'm sorry,
list.
not even. Okay,
Oh.
actually, we can talk about Parasite because
how
we
do you
didn't
compare
talk about it.
Parasite in 1917?
They're different movies.
They're very different. Yeah, because 1917 captures an intimacy that most military films fail to capture, and that's phenomenal.
That is facts.
But Parasite is just so many movies, and it's social commentary comes out of nowhere.
I
and
like
it's
the
really
social
interesting.
commentary. Social commentary has been like in there since the very
Yeah,
opening scene.
Yeah,
of the
it is
movie.
opening, but like if you like I felt it like the social commentary, but I didn't like until that waterfall happened and like there was an actual like
Oh, the flooding.
just the like the upper classes shitting on the lower classes.
Yeah.
Like that was wow. That
Yeah.
blew my mind. I was like, oh my
That
god.
was cool.
It
It was also really cool. The shit with the noodles. Korean, like if you're poor, a lot of people don't eat steak.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she had no idea what the fuck she was talking about was like really, I like that touch.
I wish there were more acting nominations for that movie because I feel like the sister in that movie killed every scene.
She
She
the
was so
sister
good.
killed it.
She was so
I
good.
I believed everything when the
Mhm.
sister was like pretending to be an art director or whatever, art therapist. I was like, yo, I don't speak Korean. You're killing it.
Is Parasite nominated for set design? Because that house
Set
is
design
so
was
good.
beautiful. What is up for set design?
So
Production
good.
design?
Yeah, production design. Yeah, Parasite is up. If Parasite doesn't win, oh wait,
Parasite is up.
1917 though. 1917.
Mm,
1917 's
I'm
gonna
furious.
win.
I'm furious.
We know 1917 is gonna take
Yeah.
the cake on that.
That's like when you get Birdman in there with the one shot. Anytime you got a one shot, you know who's winning cinematography.
Yeah.
The
But also like
effort
you're like
put into
you're
the
like
design though.
it's kind of like oh it's just a trope you use, but at the same time
It's Roger
The-
Deakins.
it's also like one
It's
of the
Roger
fucking
fucking
hardest things to
Deakins.
do, just to make one continuous shot and
Yeah.
just frame
As
shit
far as
continuously.
I'm actually kind of
It's
surprised
actually
it's
Roger
not.
Deakins with an Arri Alexa Mini.
I'm actually not. I'm surprised that it's not up for best film editing. But I think
is it?
Parasite. What is it? Fucking 1917. It's
That's
not
because
up
they
there.
didn't edit it. Like they just like did all the color grading. They didn't like stitch it. Other
No,
than
there's a lot of editing.
There is
the
editing.
two
There's way more
times-
cuts than you think.
Yeah, it's
There's
not.
like-
It's not one
actually a
shot.
All right, I counted 9.
Apparently, the movie Birdman has way more cuts than a normal film.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I counted 9 cuts that I could find.
I mean, there's definitely
you're not
the.
gonna see them. They make them seamless, especially with
Yeah,
CGI.
it was very seamless.
it's like 1917.
No, we're talking about 1917.
No, we are talking about it.
Yeah.
the cuts.
There's
The
only
cuts.
I counted 9 cuts. I was looking for them.
Oh, okay. I thought for a second we thought we were still talking about
I feel like
Birdman.
at any point,
I love Birdman though.
I feel like actually at any point you could have. Well, there's some parts where it just definitely wasn't. But
Well, the end of the movie is fucking amazing.
really,
The-
like,
wait, what do you mean it has more cuts than a normal movie?
So like they have to compensate. So like if you like,
Do they have
if
to
you-
frame it exactly the same way?
well, no, they do. In Birdman, they use a lot of CGI to make the cuts seamless to where you actually cannot detect them. So I'm thinking that 1917 did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean the only like there's only a
That's
couple spots.
cheating.
The only,
That's
it's
what I
a
think
little
that
bit.
is.
It feels
That-
a little bit.
like, I mean, I feel like
that
with,
shit's cheating.
with
If we have to
19
frame shit and do all this and just like adjust.
Hitchcock would have done it.
yeah, I mean, I feel like with 1917, you can at least be like, well, y'all actually did put effort so that it was as much as like one shot looking as possible, like,
Yeah.
with the trenches and all that shit.
Like the only like really like just solid like hit
Waterfall
you get is the
and the
waterfall
cave.
and when he passes out in the house.
Oh
Just-
yeah, that's
just go
that,
cuts
that
to
was
black.
that was.
But it's because
I was actually kind of mad. I was like, hey, that's a.
And the river.
My thing with Parasite though is that it hits so many things. So you got the concept of like just them taking over this family. Which
Love
is
that.
insane.
I love that.
You got the social commentary on the classism.
That's important.
And then those like just all these subtle moments, especially with the moment when he's in the car driving and the dude's like, oh, I can't stand the smell. And then at the end, well, I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it, but
Smell again.
Love
it.
And it triggered me so much that I was like, oh, you are totally right. Go get him. Go get him.
Yeah, no, I was upset. I was like, how fucking dare. Yeah, no, it was interesting.
And then as soon as they introduced the basement thing, I thought back to the moments when the maid talked about or when the father talked about the maid and said that she ate for 2 people.
Yeah.
And that the architect, they never saw him again or whatever after he built the house. Like just the little things in Parasite were really good.
It's actually quite a. I feel like it is quite a creepy, almost horror movie. Cause it's very creepy when you think about it. Like the fact that this family took over, and then there was a person living. Well, there was the thing, and then the other things, and I don't know.
I also love the ending, especially that last shot.
I love the ending.
If it didn't have that last shot, I wouldn't really agree. It wouldn't sit well with me. But if it had that since it had that last shot, it went with the themes in the film, and it kind of rounded it out.
Yeah, actually, okay. I'm gonna think back to it. I didn't like it at the time, but it's a good movie.
Cause it's a sad ending.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't even because of that. I just felt like I was watching another K-drama, but I don't know. The story is really good, and it's still like a really good movie.
Also in Joker, who's following some dude for shooting some people in a subway?
Exactly.
Sorry, I know we're jumping around, but I was just thinking about that.
It was also just like there was no way you were gonna get found out. Like.
And how do you go on a talk show and sit that long, if it's real? If like we like he was interviewing and questioning about it. Does Robert De Niro's character actually believe that he killed?
I don't know. I mean, you could say that like in Parasite, the Morse code is kind of unrealistic, but
How's that?
You could say that how did he know to like type out the message at the right time and he caught everything at the right time? But
he did it every day for a long ass time.
I know.
Eventually it should work.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I don't know.
It's also Morse code.
Well, I mean, like they made it very clear on how the characters in the film came across wanting to learn how to.
Did y'all catch the kid? Like, I felt like. I don't know. I was kind of curious about the kid. I thought he was going to play maybe a bigger role, but he didn't.
What kid?
The son.
Oh yeah.
He was writing down the Morse code, and then he kind of just fainted, and like that was it. But
I don't know. Out of all the films, that film is hilarious.
It's different for sure.
It's
it should
dark.
win some. It definitely needs to win. It's
Scary.
dark and it's weird.
That kick, oh my goodness! It's almost as good as the kick in Wonder Woman. Or not the knee in Wonder Woman. You know what I'm talking about? When she kicks the dude through the window?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great knee. But the kick where she kicks the woman down the stairs. And
no, that was funny. It was such a subtle thing too, because you see it from the wide.
So real,
and I was like, oh, I was laughing at first. I was like, I kicked her down.
And then she's like bleeding out on the ground while her husband's
she
tied up and can't do anything about it.
She threw up, and oh man, that movie.
The thing that's probably going to happen is that
spoilers.
Parasite is going to win Best International Foreign Film, and then
it might win Best
any
Picture.
other movie.
People are talking about Parasite win Best Picture.
It might win Best Picture. It really might.
I think 1917 is going to win.
And it would fix this
it's
whole
like
problem.
the same conversation was had last year. Like everybody was like Roma was gonna win Best Picture.
Roma should have won.
It should have won,
Parasite
and
should win
Parasite
Best Picture.
should
but
win.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling that it really might win Best, especially because Roma didn't win last year.
A foreign film at some point has got to take it.
It will, yeah.
Like it's gotta take it, but
I
at the
really
same
feel
time,
like
it's
it will. I feel like it might. It has a chance. But other than that, okay,
and
seriously.
I support this movie more than Roma because
it's unique.
It's
very.
Also like the stance that it costs.
I'm upset that Joker is
like
almost in every single
the
category.
major production houses are based in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and like other countries have very little representation in this medium. And having a movie being from South Korea and just being in an international movie and still like having like an ability to stand that way and just to be like placed near these movies, it also limits itself. It's like sort of like did you guys see Tyler the Creator's speech after he won the
Mhm.
Grammy?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that same dilemma.
Yeah.
It's like
What having it
he
win?
he won the best. Tyler the Creator made an album called Igor, and that album is nothing like a rap album. Yet it was nominated and selected to win as
Yeah.
a rap album
And the
of the
Grammys
year.
wouldn't put him in pop.
No.
Yeah,
because-
they didn't
'cause
put
he's
him
black.
In, yeah,
They put him
exactly.
in urban
they don't,
contemporary.
They didn't
It
put
would
him
be
in pop
stupid.
because he's black. The same way they don't put a
Beyonce.
movie. They will nominate your movie if you're an international for best picture, but you will not win.
Yeah.
At least
Wasn't it
that's
something
where-
that like Crazy Rich Asians was put in best foreign film category for
Ugh.
something, and
Imagine-
it was not
imagine
a
that.
foreign film
What the
in
fuck
in
is
any
that?
way.
Stay away from that movie. It's a good movie. Not
it's
deserved.
it's a fun movie because
that.
you just like seeing rich
Yeah.
people be rich.
Well,
but
see, the thing is, it wasn't a foreign film to begin with.
yeah, and that it was
Yeah.
filmed when
But-
New York and like
yeah. So the Academy is like known for like gifting people who have had great careers. Like Leonardo DiCaprio only won because he had like a 20-year-long career of like just getting snubbed.
Yeah, they would
Bong
just
Joon-ho, his career is fantastic.
Wait, who? Sorry.
Bong Joon-ho,
the
director of
Oh, yeah,
Parasite.
yeah.
of
Director.
Parasite.
Yes, Snowpiercer, Mother, Murder, Memories of Murder. Like
I've
all
never
of his
seen
films are
Snowpiercer.
fantastic.
Wait, he directed
Snowpiercer
all
is
of those
so good.
movies.
It's the one with the train.
Okja, yeah, he did all those.
He directed all of those movies.
Yeah.
Okja.
And then
That
there's
dude
still
needs
more.
to win the Oscar.
He's so good.
Snowpiercer's so good,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
Like wow.
No,
It's
you
on
know,
Netflix, you wanna
there was
watch
what was it? What was
Wanna
it?
definitely
High
watch it.
Rise tried to copy it, except instead of a train, it was like high rise buildings.
They're gonna do a plane, like a big ass plane, high-rise building. Oh, skyscraper.
No, it was what is this man's name? Tom Hiddleston played in it. It was a high rise building, and it was the same. It was essentially the same shit. Like the
I like
lower
Tom Hiddleston.
classes, the top classes, and then there's like the war bullshit instead of a train. Snowpiercer was a great movie.
Should we talk about like the final thing then? If we have
Let's.
so
I
much
want.
time?
Okay, let's go in a circle. What do you
Ford
want?
v Ferrari's gonna win Best Picture. I don't give anybody.
I want your
says.
prediction,
I don't
not
give
your
a fuck.
favorites. Your prediction. Ford versus Ferrari.
No,
No?
of course not. If that movie wins, I will change majors.
I will. Everyone will stop watching the Oscars. I'm not even kidding.
Literally, everybody will stop fucking.
I would have
watching
been
the
done if
Oscars.
Bohemian Rhapsody won last year. I would have quit.
I would have shit.
I'm just pissed because of one thing and one thing only in these Oscars. Why the fuck is Elton John let to be in the fucking original song? It's Elton John. Of course he's gonna fucking win.
All right. No. Okay. So, what's your prediction for the Oscars Best Picture?
My prediction for the Oscars Best Picture. If I had to say one movie for Best Picture, it's probably gonna be either 1917 or The Joker.
You also got to remember, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won Best Picture at the Golden Globes. Golden Globes has
Against
some
what?
say. All
These same
a bunch
movies.
of things,
Same?
really. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know
actually, I'd
why.
probably say 1917 or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Except for Parasite, because Golden Globes doesn't nominate foreign films for anything else except foreign films.
They're white. Yeah. I'm
And
gonna
the foreign
say.
press.
I'm gonna say like by a freak chance it's gonna be Parasite, and then if it's not Parasite, then it's probably gonna be 1917. We love a good period piece.
I feel like it's gonna be 1917. The point of the Oscars is like recognizing feats of filmmaking at the end of the day.
Yeah, we love a
And,
good blue
like,
filter and the one shot.
That
and-
movie is a feat. I mean, I can't spoil any of it because, yeah,
We
but
spoiled
like
a lot of it.
the moments where it gives you time to like reconcile the stakes are the moments that the film is at its best. Specifically like when the song from the trailer plays in the movie itself is actually like a really good moment.
What
So,
song's in the trailer?
go watch the trailer. You never watched the trailer like I told you to for 2 weeks straight because I told you the trailer
Because I
was
told you I
awesome.
wouldn't watch it because I wanted to go in the movie
Ooh.
fresh.
Yeah,
being
well,
blind.
Yeah,
I started doing that recently. It's pretty good.
Right? You
It's
were
really
never
fun.
disappointed.
I was
because you
very
don't
happy
have
with
a
Uncut
The first time I
Gems.
stopped watching trailers was when Civil War came out, because they had Spider-Man in the thumbnail, and I was like, how dope would it have been to go into Civil War
And
not
not
knowing
know.
Spider-Man was going to be in it? That would have been so cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch trailers anymore. Well, I can't help it because fucking like before the movie starts, but
Yeah.
I try not to. Okay, so what's your prediction?
I'm gonna double down on Parasite. That's
All right,
it.
Damn. All right.
winner
sick.
gets $5.
Winner gets $5.
Wait, so Michael needs a solid
No,
guess.
no, no.
then.
Winner gets $10. If you put 2 down, you get 5.
Okay,
You both put 2 down.
I put 2 down. You said
I'll put
Parasite.
2.
All right.
Fuck
Yeah.
you,
If
Michael.
we both win, then what happens? If I said Parasite, I get
Ooh.
$5. You get $10.
Ooh.
From who? Michael?
Yeah, it's his podcast.
Yeah.
Hey.
From John Vogel.
John
From
Vogel is
Racine?
sponsoring this episode. I'm kidding. Please don't sue me, Mr. Vogel.
All right, we plugging shit now or what?
All right. If you guys would like to plug anything, please go ahead, Maya.
All right, man. Okay, so courtesy of my friend Micah, I would like to plug her upcoming short called Silhouette. She has a what is it? Proof of concept up on her on the Instagram, and she has an Indiegogo campaign. I think like the total budget is $13,000, but anything helps. The Instagram is MADVERA .productions, Madvera Productions. So yeah, it looks super good. It's really creepy. And go watch that proof of concept and throw some money at her.
And we have an advertisement from the part of the digital filmmaking students. So they're throwing a film festival called the Crescent City Film Festival and Arts Festival. They invite you to submit short films, music videos, and visual arts from Louisiana filmmakers and artists to this festival. The CCFAF is a newest film festival in NOLA, New Orleans, and their mission is to showcase the talent of Louisiana artists. They strive to cultivate a welcoming environment for artists of all experiences, levels, and backgrounds to celebrate work and stories of their state. Entries will be screened in brand new 4K laser projects with a 7.1 surround sound studio at the festival hub on Loyola University's campus on the weekends of April 17, 18, and 19, where the winners will be announced by a jury and celebrated. The deadline for this is March 15. So we definitely here in Film for Thought encourage everybody to submit any works, or if you know anybody, to definitely let them know. That being said, does anybody else have any plugs?
I submitted 3 films to that.
Did you submit
Submit, yeah.
Yeah, submitted 2 music videos. That's it. Yeah. I'll plug my song. I got a song called Postal Girl coming out Valentine's Day. Please listen to it. I'll also be giving out some kisses on the day.
Like kisses?
Hershey kisses.
Okay.
Okay, I was like,
Just kissing people.
don't get mono.
Also, you can follow me at Chris Allen Greening. And yeah, the song will be available on all platforms.
Woo! This is
Jiro?
like the most coherent podcast I've sat at so far. I think
Hool Studios, more specifically 76 The Baptist, has a show on the 23rd, which I believe is Tuesday. Might be the 24th. I think it's 23rd.
February 20th.
At the Willow. So pull up. Free before midnight.
All right.
So,
Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and see y'all next episode. Follow us at _ Film for Thought on Instagram and on Twitter.
At Hero Roma, JIROROMA.
Thank you very much. Oh, and I'd also like to thank Samuel Beal for making the intro. You can follow him on Instagram at _ Samuel Beal. And thank you very much for listening to this episode. Hope you enjoy.